gentlemen, boys and girls, goblins of all ages, welcome back to another edition of the greatest goddamn D&D stream in this world and the next. Welcome to Goblins Under the Stairs. Oh, yeah. So, we got a slightly smaller crew, but it's still an epic crew. You got Carlos Garcia, aka the nastiest Dookie in all the land. It's Rampu McNasty. And Manto will be here with us in spirit, but he's like a ghost thing, so he'll be floating around. And we got Langston Embershroud, aka Tommy. We got Crick, aka Colbound. And we got the greatest goddamn D&D DM in all the land here. It's Nate Gonzalez. Take it away,
All
yeah.
right, thank you, Mr. McNasty. Yeah, welcome back, everyone, except for Manto, who is in Spirit Land tonight. Apparently, that call to the abyss pulled him too far into the depths that he could not even make it to the session. But that is neither here or there. We are happy to be back at it nonetheless. Do any of you three want to perhaps give a recap? All right.
Got me
Uh,
tripping.
yeah, seriously, I think I might be also. At the beginning of the last session, you guys were continuing on your travels after dealing with the encounter with the Black Talons and their lobster ship, now the Scorpion ship,
Mm-hmm.
and after meeting them and dealing with them, you captured one of the Wantees, a man by the name of Steve. And after questioning him and getting some intel from him, you guys brought him onto the ship, and he's kind of came up with a plan alongside with you all to help you all gain access to the vaults of Karsus. Seeing a little bit of my enemy, or the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of situation going on here, as you guys, of course, have your own dealings with the Gilded Eye, him being a part of the Black Talons, and learning that they are also dealing with the Velvet Chain, the cult of Grotz, and those evildoers. You guys see a little bit of an opportunity, perhaps, to maybe team up with them for maybe the time being, at least, to get into the vaults of Karsus and deal with the Gilded Eye once and for all. With this kind of intel taken care of, you guys settled in, got a night's sleep, and then continued on. Of course, a Crick and Aho making you guys some lovely food. But Langston and Manto had themselves a bit of a morning as Manto decided that he wanted to try to reach out and contact the Abyss in some capacity, some sort of way, and uh, Manta, or I'm sorry, Langston, of course, thinking maybe that's not the best idea, but hey, he's not going to question or push him one way or the other. Just going to be somewhere alongside of him in case things take a wrong turn. And Manto decided to lay on his bed and try to conjuring and contact the abyssal plane. And as Crick and Langston watched in on the room, they witnessed Manto seemingly having convulsions and interactions happening, but still, of course, they were perceiving him inside this room, whereas Manto, he was experiencing a whole different reality. He was experiencing himself, three different versions of himself, hollowed version, one that's kind of like a chained puppet, like what's it called? The puppet with kind of, what can't I think of what's called? Not a mannequin.
Marionette?
Marionette.
Marionette, yes, thank you.
Marionette.
I said
And,
first.
yes.
Wrote that down. Inspiration.
No inspiration. And he heard, of course, Grotz's his maniacal voice kind of leeching into his mind. And with this, Manto kind of woke up with this strange feeling, this yearning, kind of pulling him. Not really sure what this pull is, but something that's telling him to continue on the direction in which you guys are heading, and that there's something that needs to be dealt with, or that is just kind of getting him a sense of direction in that way. Kind of a lack of better terms. He really didn't go into and divulge too much, as Manto seems to keep a lot to himself, for better or for worse. And with this, though, as you guys were dealing with this kind of interaction, Rampu on the top deck heard a jaunty tune coming from the silvery black void of the realm space, and from there came this skiff, kind of patchwork skiff with um, why can't I think what they're called either? The the kind of amorphous shaped creature that was calling out to you guys all
Wow.
sorts of potions and elixirs and what have yous. Of course, the guys frothing at the mouth to spend some of your gold went all in and buying some good stuff. Kirk a little curious about the stability of these, we'll say. Gave one a bit of a try, realized that he grew an extra finger. It didn't exactly do what he was hoping for it to do. Of course, he didn't do a full. He didn't bite in it fully, but before you guys could kind of question him further, he drank back his own potion, made his skiff disappear, except for the little bit of smoke puffing out the back of it, and he vanished into the realm space, never to be seen again. And with this kind of encounter, you guys realize that you are only like 2 or 3 days away from Rock of Bral. Civilization is approaching, and yeah, I think you guys ended it off with kind of speaking with Manto and divulging with him after his horns grew further, and he seems to have this kind of connection with the Abyss or with Grotst that is growing stronger and stronger by the day. And so with that, as you guys are, we'll say, at near the end of your kind of day right now, with 2.5, 3 days travel to the Rock of Bral, was there anything that you guys wanted to take care of from here?
So at this point, I don't remember. I don't know that he was trying to do what he was doing, right?
No, you do. You guys,
Just
he came
nice.
up and talked to you guys on the top deck. I know it's been a little bit, but yeah, he came up and he had those horns, and you definitely
Oh
you
yes,
gave him
yes,
an
yes, yes,
earful
yes.
about it, and
I remember. I
yeah.
remember. I remember.
Hmm.
Okay. So, as the what time of the day would you say it is now?
It's in the evening.
All right, cool. So, towards the evening time, I would wait my time for I guess, the evening to progress, and I could find myself with Langston and Crick, and I would just kind of look around Langston's office and just be like, Psh, "You guys,
What? The door is open. What the? Let yourself in. You have a key. You have a key.
you're way too loud."
Yeah. In this
Crick,
moment, as Manto's on the top deck with you all too, he kind of looks around. You know, guys, that kind of encounter I had earlier got me feeling a little woozy. I think I'm gonna lay down for a little bit if that's all right with you all.
That is probably a good idea. And do not go into the abyss.
No
Yes.
promises. And he kind of just turns around and darts downstairs.
Yeah, no, that tracks. Okay. Yep. Well,
we're totally just gonna hang out here. Do nothing in particular. No secret meetings. And I literally just turn back to the.
Oh yeah. Same here, Rambo.
So, as soon as he's like out of sight, I would say, Langston, this is a closed door meeting, so you know what to do.
I will shut the door and like fake lock it, and make like look at my shoulder, and make like a noise, like I'm hitting the lock. Like, okay, it's a closed meeting.
As soon as the lock noise happens, you guys see like Crick just like have like a little relief out of him, like finally some privacy.
Flinch, Flinch. We're having closed office hours, buddy.
He comes downstairs and looks over and sees you guys close a door, and he kind of watches and kind of takes a couple steps backwards. I'll be back, and disappears back upstairs.
Your session's not until another 45.
So what's
Fuck, I forgot. I have not made any notes for his next session. Oh boy. Okay.
All right, focus, damn it, focus.
Straightens the hang in there sign. Yeah, what's up?
We have a lot going on here, damn it. And I pound my hand on the fake table, and yet somehow the keep hanging there sign gets tilted over by the.
God damn. That is imported maple, first of all. Second of all, come on. Just straightened it.
And whatchamacallit, and no, this is me. It's while it is comedic, it is me using my magical features to dramatically. So every time I pound the table fictionally, the things on the wall will
Crick jumps.
we'll shake, we'll jump a little bit. And so
The cat.
I'm like, this is crazy shit, damn it, Langston. And then I pound on it again. The cat just, I was like,
No! Snowball!
How could you let him? How could you let him do that? Damn it!
Okay, so here's the thing, right? I am an entity of holy power. I have the ability to get that out of people and get them exercised as needed. I am not one who is going to force that onto anybody. If you want the path to healing, you got to take that first step. I don't make you take it. So,
I pound my head. Healing. Does he look healed? He's got goddamn horns coming out of his goddamn head now. And
yes,
little-
it's
I will say
escalated a bit.
Janto is definitely way too horny for this group.
I,
See, this is what it's gonna be. All
You know
horny
what? Yeah,
jokes from now
that's-
on.
it's a good joke. It's a good joke.
It's a
I got
great joke, damn it. And I should have thought of
Okay.
it first.
Okay. So,
Captain's note, I thought
And-
of it first. It's been decreed.
okay. So, yeah. I understand. Things are too far gone. I'm always one to encourage, and again, I can be the voice of reason or the one who can pull him back if it gets to a point.
If
And
it
this
gets to a
one-
point, it's got
So,
to a
and-
horn.
And so now, yes, I agree with you. Now it's there.
It's
So I
2
mean, with
points.
everyone, if everyone else is on the same page, I can bitch slap the demon out of him.
I think that as we mess around with other planes and things like that, it might not be wise to be fostering a demon within our own crewmate.
I mean, let's not forget the shadows. Also, the shadows new. That one is definitely something new that I'm like, okay, I think we've hit a point now.
I will also say, though, it is interesting that he seems to be connected to Gratz. Maybe we could use that to our advantage.
So that's what he was thinking. And that's what he was going at. That was his angle. And here we are now, and his shadow is kind of following him, / spying on him,
Yeah.
/ acting separately from him. So I think we're at a point where it is too far gone, where we're jeopardizing everybody now for sake of maybe a glimpse into an all-powerful being's domain.
Maybe we try to get rid of that shadow.
You can get rid of someone's shadow?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, here, look. Actually, I'm like reading through a tome. Oh yeah, shadows be gone, and it just is written like crossed over like Shield of Faith, and I'm like, okay, I think I can make this work.
Well, if you guys think you can do it, then it's worth a shot. Because
Yeah, my only thing would be if he truly is a conduit to Gratz, if we attack that conduit,
will Grot show up?
something interesting might happen.
What do you mean? Define interesting for me.
If I could define interesting, I probably would have said something besides interesting.
Okay. So are you saying if we were to attack his conduit, it would get Gratz's attention?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And
I think that man has a million disposable pawns at his disposal. In order to further his goal, I don't think him losing one or having any one impacted is going to grab his eyes.
yeah, I think maybe when Manto's up, and if that shadow is still dancing about, I mean, it's probably some sort of shadow magic. Maybe we could
Maybe a
see if
curse?
we can coordinate that. You know, keep him connected, but make Gratz know that we have a little bit of power in the situation now.
Well, let me know. Captain's journal. I think this is a bad idea. So,
Agreed.
Before we all die, I will show this Captain's journal to you and say, I told you so.
Okay, so do
don't
you want me
forget
to
it, don't
update
get
the
mad.
Pepe Sylvia chart? I'll update the Pepe Sylvia chart. God damn it.
Go ahead. Just put my picture saying this is a bad idea.
I imagine the
Add
Peppa
notes.
Sylvia is actually on like this side of the ship.
Like hanging over
southern
the
part.
edge.
It's just like he's like, oh, I gotta. He's just gonna fix it.
Just like, oh, another update. Oh, someone else is doing something. Fucking, I just have like red thread on me all the time. I'm like, okay, let me just fucking. Okay, so what do you want the verbiage to say, Rampu? You want to, what? Rampu was right. Rampu told us so. How do you want me to word this?
You know what? I'll go. I told you so. I curse your firstborns. Rampu rules. Those are great.
I told you so. I curse your firstborns. What was the last part? You rule.
Damn straight.
You rule. And I write you rule and then put by Rampu McNasty.
As Crick reads, you roll. You just see him, just kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, I look at Crick. I'm like, yeah, you me. You get it.
I'm about to say something, and it's like, well, you know, crew morale is important. You guys can have that one.
All right.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come down to that, because I've kind of grown accustomed to your faces and not eating it.
Yes, thank you. I'm also cursing my firstborn?
Hey, if I die, someone's got to get cursed.
What if I was going to name him after you?
Well, no, that's very unfortunate.
Okay, well, you're doubling down.
At least
Okay.
The cool name that he will have will make him be able to survive the curse, which will be very, very detrimental to his life. So, you know, at least it'll give him something to inspire for and wake up in the morning. Wow.
Langston crosses Rampu Jr. off his future boy names for his firstborn son and is like, all right, well.
You can call him Little Dookie.
Call him LD for short.
That's right.
LD.
It's a great name.
Okay. But moral of this, I understand your concerns about it. I have the ability to fully eradicate whatever's plaguing our boy as soon as he returns topside. So,
if what is plaguing him is all-powerful occult being, no offense, you're pretty powerful at what you do. I worry you might not be strong enough if he keeps messing with it. And it keeps
absolutely.
fostering,
I can say when I'm beat, and if it's face-to-face with this thing, if it's a mano-a-mano thing, I think I'm beat a little bit. But in this satellite he's kind of using our buddy for, I think I can at least purge that.
That's fair enough. And in a very serious matter, I look around and make sure there's no one around I can hear. We also have to come with the reality that if things get too dark, if it comes between me saving him or me saving you guys, I'm gonna have to make a decision. I can't let the crew die over a demon.
Nah, it won't get to that.
No one dies.
Good. Because when the time comes, and if it comes, we won't be able to hesitate or we will all die. Because he's messing with some pretty dark stuff.
Yeah, but we got it under control. Don't worry. We'll take care of him. And again, if it gets to a point where it's too far gone, then we know what we'll do. But I don't want to think about that right now.
You know, the last time before I met you guys, and I heard someone tell me I got it under control, I just started laughing. It was my previous crew, right before we crashed into that goddamn sea. Next thing I knew, I was the only one alive, and I met you guys.
Yeah. So if we go off that, then a fair pretense. But if there's one thing we know about history, it's that it does not repeat itself. So we'll be fine.
Totally. Never heard of that to happen. All my years. Okay.
Correlation does not equal causation. It's fine.
That's fair. I feel bad.
Langston will continue to spit in the most commonly known principles of man.
Well, in the meantime, I guess we should leave him here resting until he figures out his stuff, and Maybe we can get some shopping in if we get if we get if we get there on time. I don't know. We gotta figure out how much travel time we have left and go from there.
True.
I think it's like 3 days. I think we have some time. Maybe we just rest and see where the ship takes us tomorrow.
That's fair. Well, this was a productive meeting. Go work. And I pound my hands one last time. Kitty picture
Hey,
falls off the frame.
Rampu, Crick, remember, and I'll point to the cat sign that says hang in there and be like, you ever feeling down, remember? Nah? We hang in there.
You might want to pick that up. If I would have
Wait, what the son of a... I'll pick it up and set it on the wall.
Crick just kind
Goddamn
of leans over
thaumaturgy.
to Rampu. It's interesting that he always points there when he seems hungry. He just kind of stares at the cat for a second.
No.
I'll
No.
keep that in mind at the Rock. They do
Please.
have exquisite meat cuts.
Okay,
And brothels.
Man of the cloth?
Well,
Man of the cloth.
if anybody wants to shave Kitty there, they typically have them.
That's right. See, I know what I'm talking about. See, I knew I liked
Well,
it.
you have to defer it before you slice it.
Well, that's true. It's a very modern approach.
I feel like we're talking about two different things.
Yeah, dinner. It's kind of the same, kind of different.
Yeah, well,
Anyways.
you know what? You hear the door go, and it's like, okay, it's unlocked. Open office hours. Flinch, you're doing this or what?
Crick opens the door, walks out, holds the door for Rampu. You coming?
Yes, sir. And I make my way out. Plus, I've been holding in a fart this whole time. When I
Oh, thank you.
Rip, and then I exit to the office.
Oh, you did it when you were still in here, you son of a bitch.
I'm sorry. And I run up.
You aren't. I know you aren't. That's terrible. You didn't eat eggs. Why do I smell eggs?
Dragon problems. And I run up to the deck.
Get that. I'm going to study gastrology to get this looked at. This is not healthy.
And away I go.
All right. As the meeting meets its conclusion inside of Langston's office here, trying to figure out your next steps and how to approach and deal with the abyssal touch that Manto has seemed to be afflicted with. It seems like the crew is kind of settling in for the night here and is ready to get some rest.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
I like it. And no, before going to bed, I would go and first I would check out the deck outside, and just kind of have like a moment where I say a slight prayer to the sea gods. So I don't know if you guys reach me up here in space, but we got some pretty gnarly stuff heading our way, and could appreciate any help you got. I don't ask you for much up there, or down there, or whatever the hell. But don't leave us hanging. Down here, up here, this side, I don't know, whatever. You know wherever the hell we are. Anyways, I do like a little signal thing.
Rampu, as you kind of call out to the sea god, as you so call it, and you say this prayer, this kind of wishful words. Around you, the kind of twinkling of the astral sea kind of dims around the ship, and you notice a little bit of water dripping onto the deck. Kind of slow, and heavy, and clearly impossible out here.
My immediate reaction is to kind of bug out and I just immediately draw my bow and arrow, and I start trying to look for the source, thinking like this might be like witchcraft or something, like.
Yeah. As you look around, you walked up here, Flinch, Warwick, Crux, Starbow, all up on the upper deck. But as you look around after that impact of the kind of splash hitting the deck, plops there, you immediately draw your bow and you look around and none of your crewmates are within your eyesight or in your vicinity anymore. And you look down on the ground where they once were, and you see a trail of black seawater kind of spreading across the wood and kind of pooling up to your feet.
Oh shit! I start to follow the trail.
As you kind of follow the trail, slowly, arrow still drawn, you begin to hear something. Kind of deep creaking groan, like something massive moving deep below you. And you look around and you feel like, you can see the star or the astral sea around you. As I mentioned, the stars have all kind of dotted out here, and you can't help but feel like a similar eerie feeling as if it feels when you're on the water in the dead of night.
I scream around. Where the hell am I?
Kind of silver mist begins to bellow and form around the ship, and it darkens everything around you. And in that kind of darkness, you can sense something enormous beyond it.
I say, show yourself.
You yell that out, it kind of echoes into the distance, fading away. And then it kind of bounces back, which is impossible, unless it was to reach and hit something. And you are looking out into the distance, and a yellow, unblinking eye opens up, larger than its ship itself. You can feel the ancient just essence of this being from beyond the veil. And as you are staring into the eye here, churning like a maelstrom, swirling around, you feel yourself again kind of lock up as if you have the black ocean around you underneath that starless sky. And you feel that feeling of something vast swimming underneath of you, like continents of flesh shifting in the dark. And as you look out over the deck into that silver kind of black veil, you can see almost like drowned cities of titans and cyclops, and you can see these broken wretches and flotsam, debris from shipwrecks and what have you, deep below the waterline, and these shapes begin to kind of churn, and you can almost hear this kind of guttural chanting of 1,000 voices deep below the depths.
And you said they look like spirits, essentially drowned folk.
You don't see, you see like shapes down there, but kind of as you look over, yeah, you don't really see exact outlines, perfect detail of anything. Definitely like kind of disarray of broken masts and ship parts and hulls and ancient cities, even kind of like in disarray down below the surface. But as you're looking over there, the maelstrom kind of swirls around and another vision hits you. A ship kind of drifting, ruined, empty across dark waters. As that kind of comes into focus a little bit more, you recognize it as your ship, your original ship that kind of crashed in the middle of that night as you guys were making your travels to Stormwreck Isle. With you, even yourself, kind of standing on the edge of the abyss, looking out onto this, kind of looking back at yourself in that one yellow, massive blinking eye or unblinking eye, kind of watching down at the scene. And it closes and opens up again, and you hear this voice enter your mind, kind of like a whale song, but like if it was like a like a funerary whale song, if you will. The door opens again, and these images all flood you. You know, crack beneath the ocean floor, that massive polyphemus being stirring, and you see the stars kind of now reflecting that deep black water, and the voice return. When the red star falls, the depths will rise. That eye slowly blinks, and as it opens back up, you feel like almost like you're getting pulled back with a rope tied to the back of your body, as that scene, the black ocean around you, all vanishes. The water around your feet vanishes. The floor from the ship's deck reappears around you. The stars shining bright and blinking all around you. And as you stand here, kind of lost in this moment, you kind of realize. Actually, make an Arcana check for me, real quick.
Okay. And you said when the red star falls, the what will rise?
Depths.
The depths. Okay. Cool. Arcana. Rolling.
You can actually make this with advantage. I'm sorry, I didn't even see that you rolled it, but yeah, make it. You can make it with advantage.
Alright. Here we go again.
Cool. Natural 20.
Yeah.
As that eye slowly blinks and everything around you shifts back to the scene that you were hoping that you were standing at still.
Nat 20.
You had this sudden realization and understanding of this one horrible truth within you. That thing that you had been having dreams and visions of beneath the water, it's not dead, and it's certainly not asleep. It is waiting. And as you, kind of just even with it, I'll say with a nat 20, is that, you kind of say those words to yourself again, we'll say, that when the red star falls, the depths will rise. You can't help but think of Langston.
I would literally immediately like drop what I'm doing and go running down to him. Down to his cabin and just start banging on the door.
Hello. Yeah. Yeah.
And I just push him over. We gotta talk. Close
Oh.
the door.
Okay. Langston proceeds to pick up this like red-laced book that he dropped to kind of be like the red star joke, and is just like, "Oh, okay, what's going on?" And like shuts it and sets it on the shelf.
I don't even pay attention. I just start saying it. The door opens again. When the red star falls, the depths will rise. And I'm just saying it over and over and over and over so I don't forget. Does that mean anything to you? Red
The
star.
door opens
The red star
again.
falls. The depths will rise.
Red star falls.
Langston, make a
Depths
history check
will
for me.
Happily. Where the hell my shit? There it is. History. You know what? I've not used my inspiration in a minute. Let's do that.
Let's do that.
And I knew it was going to be one better. God bless it.
Gotta love it. Well, fortunately for you, this is something near and dear to you, so the difficulty level isn't too extreme. As you remember, of course, your mother used to call you her little star all the time, or sometimes you have different variations of it. Her twinkling star, her little star, her North Star, whatever. She'd had different, all sorts of monikers of that kind of type for you.
So I'll like think and look at Rampu and just be like, so not to be self-centered, my mom used to call me her little star, or like little red star, which, my origins kind of, I was born in the cosmos.
And you're a ginger. It makes total
I-
sense.
So, but wait, so you're saying if we're taking what you said, if I die, then the depths rise?
And I just take, let me take a step back. So I went up to the deck, and I was standing out there, and, I said a couple words out there, and the next thing I know, I'm like here, but I'm not here, and I'm following this trail. There's like water drops all around me, and I'm following this trail because it's impossible that there's water. And I see this eye thing looking at me, and it just shows me these visions, right? And at first I see just like crash ships and just shapes of things all over, but then I see my crew. I see my ship, and it was almost taunting me, but it was just showing me all this death and all this destruction. And I think maybe I'm here for a reason. Maybe I met you guys for a reason, but it told me this message, and all I could think of was you.
Well, I'm flattered, and also I'll like put my hand on his shoulder and I'll be like, first time having a spiritual journey that you don't really know what the fuck's going on and you just throw him through the blender.
Well, I've been seeing things.
Buddy, that is my every day. Every day's a riddle that you gotta decipher if you want to cross that bridge, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. It's I was never one to have visions, but ever since all of us got together, I've definitely had some weird things coming up.
You learn not to question it and that there is ultimately a meaning of a higher power coming down the pipeline sooner or later. But you said it was a yellow eye?
Yeah, whatever it is, it doesn't feel like it's a good higher power. It definitely feels like they mean harm.
Okay. Would I be able to kind of know my knowledge of deities, both good and bad, to kind of see if there's some inference I could pull, like what god or what power might be casting these visions on Rampu?
Yeah, you can make a religion check. And also, while this is going on, Kirk, you're laying in bed, or whatever state of stasis that you find yourself in typically.
Since they're smiling.
Yeah, exactly.
Just staring at the door, waiting for the next day.
He's just like a Tesla plugged into the wall, like just waiting.
Charge that car battery, baby.
Plugged into the wall.
And you hear a conversation happening between Rampu and Langston in the room next door. If you so choose to get out of your state of stasis and join the conversation.
Yes, so I imagine as soon as I heard Rampu like walk in, and like the walls are literally 1 2x4 thick, so I can hear essentially everything. And Crick's just sitting there with his ear directly against the wall as all this is kind of going on. I hear about the eye. Would it have anything to do with the eye that we saw at Dr. Z's kind of island, right? Because I remember us in the water, and there was the eye that disappeared. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
it
not,
seems like there's definitely
like,
a connection of
interrupting.
sorts there. Yeah.
okay, so I mean, Langston just did a good roll, but yeah, okay. So I'm gonna keep that in as I listen to this conversation because I'm not trying to break in yet, but I'm just kind of piecing it together as we kind of go through.
Yeah, Langston, as you're, thinking about the eye as well, and then piecing together potential deities, gods, what have you, this doesn't come to your mind as any sort of god in a kind of Forgotten Realms pantheon per se. However, this definitely seems to be some sort of like eldritch elder god horror of sorts, a creature that seems to have some sort of, Rampu was talking about potentially the people chanting beneath the depths and everything. There seems to be some sort of cult following behind this eldritch being of sorts. Again, not necessarily a god per se, but a lot of the times people, or not just people, but beings are able to, if they believe in enough and
Yep.
of course, magic and arcane uses and stuff, you can make something, as abominable and horrible as a massive creature like that turn to existence.
Okay. Cool. So this sort of the premise of power resides where people believe it resides, and if it resides in a yellow eyeball monster that lurks in the depths and is that of an eldritch horror or an outer god, then that's what we got here. Cool. Nameless. And then would I again also be able to fully deduce like I am the red star in this? Like I know it's what like my mom called me and everything, but
Yeah,
Langston
and with that also
cannot be narcissistic for the life of him. So he's like, no, it's got to be someone else.
make an Arcana check as well with that too. You would definitely have some sort of inkling in that degree. But additionally, how can I say this? You mentioned that the exact message that Rampu relayed, that when the red star falls, the depths will rise. You mentioned, does that mean when I die or when the red star dies or whatever? Not necessarily sure if it means death per se. Death could maybe be one route, but falling doesn't necessarily meaning dying.
Oh.
Be falling from
Okay.
grace.
Okay. There are a lot of definite. Okay. So I'll.
So as I hear all this stuff going through the wall, and I'm assuming they're kind of talking, can I just kind of like bang on the wall and just you guys hear like a muttered sound of Crick just kind of the beast under the water at Dr. Z's.
I forgot Crick doesn't sleep. Crick, meet us in the kitchen. Come on. Then we'll saunter out.
But like with that, does Langston maybe get anything else from that kind of thought process that he was going down?
I'd say with that,
maybe like advantage on the throw.
Yeah, go you can make a Arcana check again if you want.
Thank you for the advantage. 24.
So I guess with the way that Crick kind of helps out there, I'm not sure if this exactly makes sense. What I was gonna say, I think, yeah. So with the Arcana check in general, Langston, yeah. Again, you're not certain that it necessarily means dying, but you do know, of course, that. Well, let's bring it back a step. Actually, sorry.
But I guess Crick would say more, because with the star falling, he heard this whole thing, and he goes like, "The creature is beneath you. He's in the sea. Fall to meet him," kind of thing.
Okay. So so you guys definitely have this kind of piecing together that there's some sort of connection between what seems to be, with this additional Arcana, Rampu is having. You guys all seem to have this like strange kind of connection, whether it be from like Manto or from stuff that's happened at Dr. Zelthar for the Dr. Sartonicus's planet and all that. But there's definitely seems to be, you guys would have a shared vision of this being below the surface on that planet. And in that moment, it felt very real to you, but there's also a part of it that wasn't sure if it was a vision or something that was actually a manifestation of reality. You're almost certain now that it was a kind of a shared vision hallucination stemmed from, again, this comes from the 24 Arcana check, with the nightmare beast and the way that he was projecting these nightmare visions onto you all, specifically Rampu, who was getting the brunt of that kind of effect. Night after night, he kept on having these terrible nightmares, these hallucinations. A lot of them dealing with the visions of some sort of vast, singular-eyed creature deep below the surface. And so again, as you kind of are thinking about the vision he just had, what you guys saw on the planet there. Not sure, again, if that was a real thing, but definitely some sort of manifestation of horrors, nightmares, visions inside of Rampu's mind being projected outward in a shared kind of hallucination and vision in that moment.
Okay.
And again, also though, Langston, with the kind of falling part and the dying aspect of that and everything, there's a part of you that realizes also that your father, this, this cultist leader of Baal, the god of murder, has, since you were young, wanted you to kind of be, ushered in as the next in line, or something along
Yeah.
those lines. You're not 100% sure. It's just what you've been told, at least, or what kind of have pieced together. So falling could meaning turning to that evil ways, of either Baal, or potentially, as you kind of look over to the room to your right or your left, to Manto's room, you realize that there is a darkness lingering in nearby.
Yeah. Okay. Message received. Sweet. So, putting all this together, I think because I don't think Rampu told us too much about like these visions he was having. Just like he was like having nightmares, like consistently on Zelthar 4. And then we all saw the eye when we were traversing the ocean, but like we didn't. I don't think we knew this stemmed from Rampu, right? I don't think he ever confided in us anything like that.
Yeah, correct. I had gone quiet.
That's because you like got very like cold and didn't really share anything. So I think Langston goes a round of like, so I'm not gonna be dismissive of this vision you've had. This isn't the first time you've had something like this, is it?
No.
Okay. So, at least from what I can gather, this vision is referring that it's, to me, it's screaming like it stems from my father. Worshiper of Baal, all things unholy, not, and I'll like make light flicker off me, like, pretty much counter to what I stand for. So it's either getting me to go to the dark side, as it were, and that's what opens the gates here. And I'll throw a vision I've had on the table. Essentially was trying to get some answers from my own goddess, and Crick, this is for you too. You knock in, you chime whenever you feel it's appropriate, my friend. And I'll explain how it was like the vision of the shadow eclipsing the moon and everything. Pretty much, as soon as it started with Manto, I had a similar vision, and just kind of express that there is clearly a darkness after us on top of all of this. And it seems like each of us have a mark on our backs in some way, shape, or form. And God, I wish I knew what this being was that was this yellow eye, but I ain't got a name for it, but it's nothing good.
Whatever it is, it has something to do with my mother as well. And I would share the vision that made me go quiet. While I was when we were traversing the ocean on foot. The whole thing, seeing my mom fly, and then I believe I saw her pass. It was just like a flash, and then a voice kind of taunted me about it. I'm basically saying that everything, we were next, kind of a thing.
Okay. So, it seems like the skeletons in our closets are all kind of coming full circle in their own dark ways.
Is it possible this thing knows our memories because it's messing with our minds, or is it possible that it's cursed us all our lives?
I mean, it could also be in the line of what you said, where everything's kind of pre-written. and this was always going to be something we've had to deal with at some juncture. To be clear, I don't like either of the options. I'm right here with you. None of this is good, but
I don't know that I can accept that all the pain and suffering that I have lived in my life is just some pre-written story.
so you can look at it through that lens, or you can look at it that everything you've suffered and experienced still has defined who you are as a person. There's two ways to go about it. And you can either let it hold you, or you can be the one that defines what happens after this.
I will not accept that our destinies is meant to be pre-written, especially by this asshole. So if he thinks our story's over, got another thing coming for him.
Fair. I'm in agreement. And this thing has never once uttered a name other than your own. Or your, mother's name.
I don't believe so.
Okay. Langston, lets loose a deep exhale and then gets out a fresh, trifold poster board from Staples and then is like, and now we're on to Pepe Sylvia chart number 2, the Deities edition, and gets out new black string and starts making a chart. Oh, God. Crick, any weird visions on your... I'll, knock on the wall and be like, anything I need to know about from you?
You just hear from the other side. We'll probably find out about that soon enough.
About what? As in there is stuff and you're not ready to tell us?
Well, I don't know. I see a little bit of the vaults of Carthix, but I mostly know about Captain Felbar and our ship being destroyed. I don't know why those people came out of the sea onto our ship. That was a little odd, come to think of it.
You said out of the sea?
Yeah, what, Crick? And I go like
Crick,
this.
Crick,
But then he hears it in Crick's room.
you are, I'll tell you, you are getting good at thaumaturgy, my friend. Somebody's taking up the arcane ways.
But thank you. But go on, Crick.
There's a picture of a dog held fast to the ground and it falls. Yeah, the cat hanging tight.
Oh no!
And he goes, and you just hear, thinking back, during the mutiny of the ship, there was a couple people that I never saw before. I don't know. I don't know why they hated Captain Felbar, and I don't know why they hated I. But
who are
maybe Steve.
Steve? You think Steve had something to do with this?
I don't know. He keeps saying that I was made at the vaults, and I will say I'm starting to think that I didn't come from Tor.
Well, you definitely didn't come from boring old Toro. Especially as you are, big guy. But
Hey, Crick, me neither, man. And I high five the wall.
if at any point you find out that Steve had something to do with killing your crew and your captain, you say the word.
I don't think he had anything to do with killing the crew, but it sounds as though some people have been looking for me.
That's right.
I don't know who, but maybe they were part of it.
Well, hopefully with our plan here, we'll be able to draw those scumbags out. And you would be able to identify them, right?
I think so. I can say those faces are etched in whatever memory I think I still have of that day.
Good. be a plan of action. If we find those people, we question them, and we get information from them by any means necessary.
I'd say you could question them. I don't think I do much questioning.
Don't worry, Crick. This is something that I'm pretty good at.
As he says that, he like his own embodiment enlarges, and you see like the bowels of his room just kind of like bend toward.
God, Crick. Think of the poster. Think of the dog poster.
Like, circle coming into you, and then he just shrinks back down, kind of instantaneously. As that
the biggest room
kind of flows through him.
It'll be all right, Crick. We got this.
Sorry, I'm taking notes. Everything, bear with me.
I think at the end of the day, for whatever reason, there seems to be a darkness following each of us. And it sounds like, at a minimum, you two are connected. I wonder if that's the same darkness that follows Manto.
I'll look at Rampoon, like, hold up a high five, like, hey, we in it together.
See, there's a reason I didn't eat you. Bang.
And I hear like a, and you guys just, you can feel Crick shaking his head, and just you hear a murmur through the wall of, that's not something to.
Yes, it is. Crick, you smile through the pain.
And I use my thaumaturgy again, and Crick hears a high five right next to him. Give my high five to him.
Crick jumps up for a second, and you hear a much louder clap as he just casts Thunderwave directly in front of him, just to like, you know, just to swing.
Just to destroy his wall. Go and roll damage for that.
It's a very small thunderclap.
Is it Thunder Wave? Is that what you're using?
Thunder. Yeah, that's all I have is Thunder Wave. It's very small.
Roll an Arcana check to see how small it is. If you roll a
I'm purposely trying to make it small.
If you roll higher than a 15, you can control the size. All right, good. You see it kind of like knock some splinters off, like the trim of the door frame just a little bit. The wall shake and reverberate. The lantern on your wall kind of bouncing and creaking back and forth.
Oh my goodness. Okay, note to self: don't leave Crick out of a high five. Got it. And then, for the sake of just one last thing with this whole thing, I think I had a vision of my father a while ago, and he's still on Toril, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Specifically, you had a vision. You remember playing like in Neverwinter Woods as a child.
Yes.
And there was a mountain there, Mount Hoyt now, that you remember kind of visiting and whatnot. And your vision was definitely like at the base of like kind of an obfuscated part of that mountain.
Okay. Got it. Now I remember it like took me below, and that's where he's like actively doing stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Well, he can't get us in space, and I'll like smile through the pain.
And one thing that you would of course remember about that mountain specifically is that it is an active volcano as well.
Super.
Nice.
That is an active volcano. Okay, cool. I'll like mention that out loud, and then just look at Rampoon and be like, "Yeah, I don't think he's coming back with the milk anytime soon." Damn.
Go and roll a history check as well. I'll give you something else maybe too.
Okay. That's a natural 20.
Shit.
All right. Yeah, that is a
Nat 20.
clearly like an ancient, massive mountain, active volcano, as I mentioned. Inside of it is a a dwarven forge, and also access to the Underdark. And you've heard as a child, kind of fables, stories, that there is a shadowy version or reflection of this mountain that exists in the Shadowfell as well. But like this part of this like fairy tale story that you were told is that that version was always constantly flowing, overflowing with lava and magma, just constantly. And yeah, there's maybe you might know of some there's been sometimes talk of like fire giants and red dragons, uh, fire elementals and things like that that have of course in a place of such magnitude of power, arcane nature, what have you, there's room for a lot of creation and a lot of strange beings, if you will.
In the Shadowfell version.
Not just the Shadowfell. Sorry, yeah, that was.
Oh, in the Underdark as well.
Just at in Mount Hoyt now in general. There's yeah, people have like called it the doorway to the Nine Hells.
Oh, super. Okay. Well, he does always take his work home with him, so. Oh, super. Okay. The more Langston's thinking about this, the more he's like, do we sidetrack at any point? No, because we have a strict timeline before Gratz takes over and brings war to the plane. Okay. Selfish request of y'all, maybe at some point, and maybe get one of these visions and things haunting us taken care of. Y'all okay if we go back to Toril and maybe womp my dad once we're done with Gratz?
Don't see the problem with that. We just
Crick, expand the walls if you're in.
You just hear Crick from the other side. After shopping, of course, the walls just expand.
Fantastic.
yeah, we definitely need some supplies.
Although I will say, I would love to kill Dr. Z first.
Oh, of course. Again, I am lowest on the pecking order. We got other stuff to take care of before that.
Well, I honestly think everybody has business on Toril.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. We just might have to do a few things first to, save the universe. But other than that, no sweat.
We've done it before. We can do it again.
I hope you're right, my friend.
But he also, my dad might actually have some answers for what the vision you are seeing is, and whether he knows what it is, or he's the one causing it. Or again, if it's based off a cult, well then look no farther than dear old dad for the first to dive headfirst into anything with that, so.
Well, it would be good to figure out what the hell is haunting us.
Yeah.
So, alright, yeah, we'll definitely add that to the more near the top of the list then.
I feel like any time we tick off one thing on our laundry list, two other things get added, and they're never good.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
That's true.
That's typically how a laundry list works.
It's just like,
Finish
oh, cool.
with the underwear, and then the thongs start.
Yep, Mike.
That's why I do this thing where I wear them once and I flip them inside out and wear them again. So then you get 2
Oh,
days.
you double dip in your Gucci's?
Well, no, of course not. I borrow yours.
I
Back in your drawer. Duh. That's your dirty drawer, right?
we
And I point to
No.
like his clearly cleans. That's
freshly folded, color sorted.
Red.
Okay.
Red.
Yes, there would
Red,
never be another color.
burgundy, pink.
Maroon's in there somewhere.
Maroon. Red, maroon, burgundy.
See, this is cherry and this is crimson. There's a difference.
And if you look this one, it's clearly sunset. You son of a bitch. Okay. Sweet. think I'm just gonna. I'll thank Rampu for bringing this to my attention. I will not thank him for wearing my underwear. And then I think I'm just probably gonna see if I have any more tomes and stuff, and just stuff I like have brought with me from home when we first vacated. Things I know, reflect with Saluna on the vision she gave me versus what's brought from Rampu, and I'm probably just gonna stay up meditating on this for a while.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna go to my captain's quarters and after saying goodnight to the guys, and I'm gonna go practice with my lock picking skills for a couple of hours too before bed, and then I'm gonna call it a
Going to
night.
your captain. Crick's in there already, sleeping. Just sitting in the bed looking at you.
What the hell, Craig?
Wait, Crick, I didn't realize that wasn't Crick's room this whole time, and it's just like, what the hell?
Listen, Crick just slowly walks out, looking at Rambo. Just goes right across the hall, but leaves both doors wide open so he can look directly at Rambo.
And I literally use my thaumaturgy again to just slowly shut mine. And you see my face like when you accidentally like creep on someone like, in the crevice of a bathroom stall and you can see them pooping. I'm just like,
Incredible. All right, well, yeah, you can get however it's pretty late in the night, so however more hours you like to stay up and lockpick, you can go about adding that.
I'll do 2 hours.
All
Just,
right.
simple.
Crick, anything else for you for the night?
And I think Crick's just kind of he's thinking about everybody's kind of roles in the situation, and again, it just seems like there's a lot of thought in Toro, but his overarching drive right now against everything is to just kill Dr. Zarconagus. And he can't get away from it. Like he tries to refocus on other things, but he just can't stop focusing on Dr. Zarconagus for whatever reason.
Yeah, and one thing, of course, that you would like, as you had him kind of locked in your mind, is that you kind of go through any snippets of not conversations, but the voice kind of memos he would leave, or the telegraphs that would come off, or the even the robotic voice that would the kind of intercom robotic voice that would sometimes go off. Is that he's not like someone that plays, he's not in any guilds or any of these groups or crime syndicates or anything like that. He's his own kind of like entity. However, he does deal with the Black Talons specifically, especially their kind of high tech gear and specialties. And with that, he would, trade then some of his own creations and monstrosities and what have you as well. But that all the dealings, or at least the Black Talons where they're stationed at, the Vault of Karsus is kind of like a meeting point for all these places, or all these guilds and crime syndicates. It's not their stronghold per se. It's like kind of a neutral ground for all these groups. Of course, you would know that the Gilded Eye, or at least Big Gino, he's got stationed up on Journey's Leg, where they've, it was mentioned before, they're digging for something there. Not exactly sure what, but they're digging for something there. And on Belkin's Rim is like kind of this like high-tech planet. It's not even a planet, it's a man-made place where the Black Talons, it's like kind of their like their science facilities, their manufacturing facilities, all sorts of cybernetics and technology and weaponry, everything that they create is done there at Belkin's Rim.
And as Crick's thinking about this, he just, he's pretty intellectual, so he's kind of piecing all these pieces together and kind of feeling where the power structure is in this kind of like intense field. And every time he starts threading, a piece of the Pepe Sylvia, like even when it goes out to a thing, it just kind of circles back to Dr. Zarkonius, and he just kind of looks down at his gauntlet, at Lurik's gauntlet, and he can't stop looking at it as he's just sitting there staring at the gauntlet, thinking about this entire matrix, but he can't. Everything just points to Dr. Zarkonius, even when it shouldn't. It just does as he stares at the gauntlet for the rest of the evening.
Love that. Is there anything else for Crick?
He's just staring, just kind of going on.
All right. And Langston.
I think Langston is like, again, just thinking on everything and thinks back to his vision given by Saluna, and just knowing like things about his dad, what Rampu has told him, is actually like kind of piecing together like what Rampu has told him, what he has discovered, what we've all gone through so far. Not to the degree of like a Pepe Sylvia chart, like he will be making that, but at this point, it's just kind of like, what is the overarching theme of all of these? What do they have in common? And is just like trying to piece everything together, and is just like locked into one specific spot, staring at the floor while he's like sitting cross-legged on his bed, just like hands up to his mouth, just like, what is happening with everybody all at once?
Why don't you make an investigation check for me?
Sure. Oh, that's not as high as I would have liked. 13.
Going from like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, so with the 13 investigation, there's a lot of kind of cloudiness, kind of involved with, piecing all this together. You can Crick in the room next door. He's trying to piece it all together, but to him, it's all leading back to Dr. Sardonicus. And as you're trying to kind of like all, see how all these threads all kind of converge and maybe meet at some sort of point of sorts, for you, it just seems like that it's almost like you start to consider, is it connected like a thread or more like dominoes? Meaning, if one thing happens, does it trigger something else? And when that thing is triggered, does that trigger something else? And if that triggers, does that trigger something else? And kind of thinking along the lines of like, if X doesn't happen, Y can't happen. And with that, you just think kind of the first thing that we need to kind of take care of is make sure that you can kind of look over to Manto's room, is that Gratz does not kind of take over this plane and have you all begin to have that first domino fall, essentially. Because if that darkness comes over, just as you kind of had that vision of the eclipse, that kind of all-encompassing darkness coming in, if that darkness makes its way in, it's going to be hella hard to stop it all from coming in.
Cool. Yep. That's what I imagined. Awesome. And Langston just like looks next door at Manto's room, even though you can see him, just starts like rubbing his hands together and just like, just the holy energy and like sparkling light starts, and is like, I think it needs to happen, and just keep going and starts mumbling to himself.
Incredible. All right, with that, you guys can go ahead and take a long rest then, as the evening passes on by. Crick staring out the door as Rampu has the door shut. You kind of actually make a perception check, Crick.
Perception.
Yeah.
So that long rest.
So you can see through the lock hole on Rampu's lock, and you can see him perfectly within his bed. Kind of like, he looks around at first before he gets into bed, and then he pulls out a blankie from underneath his pillow, and he starts holding it tight to his body. No, I'm just kidding. Rampu, that doesn't need to be canon if you don't want it to be. But
I can have a blankie. It's cool.
All right, cool. Great. You just see Rampu do something embarrassing that he doesn't want anyone else to
Crick.
see as captain kind of do.
Crick looks through that pee hole and sees him
Pee hole.
just comfy up to his little binky and put his little thumb in his mouth. And it's Crick, who is, raised by Captain Felbar on his ship, first mate all day. He just mutters, "Captain, my captain," as he just stares over onto you and he just makes sure nothing upsets that sweet embrace and that sweet moment of essence that is happening with Rampu right now.
Oh,
Incredible. And as Crick somehow still gets a full night's rest while intently watching Rampu, his captain on the other side of that door frame, you guys can take a long rest. I think this is probably a good place for us to call it a night. We'll pick it up here when we get together the next time so that we can all start fresh, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed the next morning and get
take
Manto
it.
involved as well.
yeah, buddy.
Let's go.
Awesome. Great little session, guys. Thanks for playing. Anything before we call it a night?
Felt so good to be back. The whole time I was like, I missed this.
It's great. Glad to be back too.
gotta do it
Luke
again.
did say he'd be good Sunday, but hopefully we can get like another. Yeah, I mean we'll keep it the Sunday, not to overcomplicate things. But
Yeah.
we'll see you guys then. Thanks everyone for tuning in and watching. Thank you guys for playing. Hope you guys take a nice short rest and look out for those goblins under the stairs. We'll catch you all next time. Peace.
All right, boys.
Later.